I don't even know where to start anymore. There's just so much that I think needs to be heard, that it sort of becomes a sort of tornado, and my thoughts will move faster than my mouth, and I won't be able to get things out. But I, one of the things that's been the most difficult is is the isolation. It, it really really f's with your head. Um, you, you know, it's I don't understand on any level how a lot of the things I've had to deal with are 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 okay. It's even hard for me to put into words, because I just, it's so, just such a twisted situation. That there's a reason why solitary confinement is a punishment. It does things to you, and it has an impact. And the the fact that I've had so much just time taken from me for no reason, where I maybe I could have maybe addressed that, um, but I don't. The logic I get, though, especially when it comes to trying to get some forms of help, is such a twisted logic. It's almost like if you had a car that was leaking gas and wouldn't start, and you called an insurance company and asked for a tow truck, and they told you, well, we need to know why the car is leaking gas before we can send a tow truck. But, and you tell them, well, I need to get the car to the shop in order to figure out why it's leaking gas. And they say, oh, well, we can get you to the shop. We'll send a taxi. You say, great, I'll take a taxi to the shop. But then how's the car going to get there? And you tell them, well, you know what? Can a taxi take me to a gas station so I can at least fill one of those portable gas canisters, bring it back, maybe start the car, get to the shop? And they say, well, no, the taxi can only take you to the dealership. It would, that is the type of just, you know, kind of illogical garbage that I'm basically having to deal with here. That there are so many things that could have made this so much less horrible. I mean, the fact is, there have been I'm scheduled to get an injection in my neck, and that, had it been taken seriously, it probably wouldn't have been necessary. I'd have probably been able to do something much less, less painful, less expensive, all that stuff. And it's I just find myself more and more angry, and I guess somewhat bitter that so much over the past year and a half could have been avoided. You know, and I'm not even asking for people to, quite honestly, I'm not even asking for people to treat me like a person at this point. A lot of things that have gone on, if you brought your pet to the vet to because you were going out of town and you came back and the pet was, let's say your dog was covered in, you know, was lying in its own filth, had didn't, you know, wasn't given the medicine, hadn't been fed regularly, you'd be pretty angry. So all I'm asking is for the treat me with the same sort of outrage you would treat your dog. That's seriously, treat me like the dog. That would be a massive step up. And there's no excuse. There's none. Especially, you know, I'm not stupid. I know there think everything revolves around money. I get that, but had people done what they were supposed to do in the damn first place, it would have been a lot cheaper. I could have done it for cheaper myself. Uh, and I I simply don't understand how so many people throughout, whether it be government or insurance, can just kind of shrug their shoulders and just completely ignore something so damn serious. And I get it. It's weird. It's a my health situation's not something people run into every day, but that doesn't make it any less severe. The the mentality seems to be, though, you don't just have to qualify. You don't just have to meet all the criteria for something. You have to meet it in a way that is easily understood and that is in a way that that's seen regularly. You know, and I feel stupid right now because I can't think of the words I want to use, and my voice is completely effed right now. But I I've had people, you know, the thing is that this is actually, I may have said it before, but some, you know, kind of after a form of psychological torture. You know, you have people constantly ask you the same questions. You keep repeating yourself, but yet they keep ignoring and picking and choosing what they want to respond to. And all the while, you're basically just told to, yeah, well, if you're in fear every day, who cares? And that's a true statement. I am afraid every damn day. I don't know a lot of times if I'm going to be able to move. I don't know. I've run out of food. I've run out of medicine before. I had a time where I was curled up in a damn ball, weeping, out of medicine, out of food, and I somehow pulled through. But that doesn't make it any damn less severe that people knew about that and nobody gave a shit. Uh, and still, to this day, if something positive comes out of all this, I will sit here and say I would not change a damn thing. But I, and I'm not asking for anything free from anybody. I'm asking for a damn opportunity. That's it. I'm asking for an opportunity to do something. I would like to be more than just some desperate, bitter, whiny, bitchy invalid on YouTube. That's not what I'm looking to be. But I don't know what the hell else to do. There's only so many times you can run your head into a brick wall. There's only so many times you can basically do the same thing and see the pattern keep repeating until you tell people basically F off. I, there has to be, people have to be accountable. This is no different than at a point, if people know there's a dangerous situation. And by the way, I have the photos of the disgusting rashes I was getting, of the injuries I got, of all that. If people know that that's a very, very serious possibility and they continue to ignore it and do nothing, it's almost as if they're doing it themselves. There's no damn difference. Just because you ignore it or try and, I've spoken up plenty of times. I don't think trying to maintain some sort of plausible deniability makes it any better and makes people have any less responsibility. There's and the fact is, a lot of things when it comes to a lot of the issues, it does involve federal programs. So, and you have social workers and RNs at some point interpreting law, interpreting how these programs should be administered. And I'm fairly certain common law doesn't apply in that situation. They can't just make that up as they go. There has to be, and telling somebody to file, I think at this point it'd be like 5 separate complaints with different agencies. What the hell is that? There has to be a way to hold people accountable and to avoid situations where people are able to get away with especially the what's happened here. That people shouldn't be able to get away with it because they hurt someone enough. And it just I want so bad to be able to leverage this all into something good, but I just a lot of times, I don't even know where to start anymore to try and put things back together. I feel like I've been just kind of tortured this past year and a half, and it's been horrible. It's no one should have to this should never happen. Shouldn't.